On to our next session, revolution or evolution? That is the question. With AI creating new opportunities for automated financial advice, one of the questions is, what is the role that humans will play? Are we going to become obsolete? Hope not. As the Chief Digital Officer at Morgan Stanley, Noreen Hassan is one of the rising stars building the next generation of wealth management solutions. When it comes to AI within wealth management, Noreen separates the signal from the noise when it comes to the future of financial advice, especially the role of artificial intelligence. Please welcome to the Revolution stage, Noreen Hassan.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here year after year. Money 2020 is such a great conference, and thank you to the organizers in particular for the opportunity to speak today. While this group represents almost every corner of the financial ecosystem, we're all here today because that we understand that technology is changing both our customers' expectations and the way that we serve them. And just this past few days, we've heard from many companies and thought leaders about how artificial intelligence in particular is shaping the financial services industry. What's the hype versus the reality? Should we as an industry embrace the potential of AI? How will AI impact the future of work? With that in mind, I'm going to be talking about artificial intelligence and the future of wealth management specifically today, with 3 key points. First, what is the state of artificial intelligence today? How is it transforming other industries? And what does this mean for wealth management? Perhaps 10 years ago as consumers, we may have unconsciously adjusted our expectations based on the industry we were interacting with. Hospitality or entertainment, we expected an enjoyable, helpful, convenient experience. Finance and healthcare, less so. Now more than ever, however, we benchmark our experience across industries. Today, when I refill my prescription by text, which I just did back in the green room, it's a helpful and even delightful experience. Everyone in this room has experienced their own digital revolution. We all recognize the speed at which technology is transforming our lives, both as consumers and professionals. And with this recognition comes a fair amount of trepidation, amplified by the daily headlines warning us about how artificial intelligence will replace the human workforce. But I'm here today with a different perspective. My perspective is that the true value of artificial intelligence lies in its ability to augment and enhance the human element, rather than in its ability to replace it. And that the winning model will be a combination of both people and technology. Now, to step back, over the past few years, billions of dollars have been invested in AI applications, such as machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. McKinsey estimated that there was approximately $30 billion of investment made to AI. And Morgan Stanley expects industry revenues to grow 15% annually. But what do we mean? What do we really mean when we say AI? AI is about using technology to perform tasks and identify insights that have commonly been associated with human beings: detecting, processing, recommending, and reasoning. However, the ability for technology to complete these tasks is unequal today. So to orient us, I'd like to spend a moment to define each capability, starting with the most mature and working back to the least mature. First, detecting. This is the identification of unusual patterns that break from known norms. In financial services, we're using this technology for fraud detection and to build propensity models. The second is processing. Processing is automating actions, human actions, to complete business tasks. For us, this can be applied with robotics process automation in areas of operations such as trade reconciliation and accounting. Next, recommending. Here, engines analyze data sets and user preferences or patterns to make recommendations. You've all seen recommendation engines in action through phrases like based on your viewing history or based on your purchase history. This is the Netflix model. And finally, reasoning. Here, technology interprets our language and understands the intent behind our questions to provide us with the right answer. We see this in chatbots and intelligent assistants. These capabilities must be able to understand what we're saying through different mediums like voice and text, and also be able to understand how we're asking our questions to get the appropriate answer. This is where the technology is relatively immature. The bots work when we give them structured data and Q&A. But the true success in this area requires the computer to process unstructured data like humans do. They aren't there yet. We've all rolled our fails at the Alexa fails on this in my house. It's driven by my 8-year-old son. He, the other day, asked Alexa which city is bigger, Frankfurt or Berlin. Alexa gave him a completely random response pulled from Wikipedia about facts about Frankfurt. He then changed his question. He asked her, what is the population of each? He then had to do the reasoning to answer the which is bigger part of the problem. Across all 4 capabilities, organizations that will see the most success in artificial intelligence share a couple of key assets. First, they have access to large sets of structured data. This allows the computers to access historical trends and behaviors, offering the opportunity to test, retest, and learn. Second, and even more crucially, they have access to domain experts, which offer the opportunity to train the algorithms and add that reasoning layer, like my son did to his problem with Alexa. So we believe that the firms that are best positioned to take advantage of AI are those that have a winning combination of structured data sets together with a deep bench of human expertise, what we're calling augmented intelligence. But before I talk about how Morgan Stanley is applying augmented intelligence to our wealth management business, let's take a look outside of financial services and see where it's working well. Take, for example, Stitch Fix, the 7-year-old online subscription and personal shopping service that IPO'd last year. While it sits squarely in the retail sector, Stitch Fix doesn't have an online store or even a way for customers to shop for their own clothes. Stitch Fix excels at having customers create structured data sets about themselves by encouraging users to rate and rank their preferences and fill out style surveys. Their AI algorithms then take this data and do 80% of the work, recommending personal ideas for their human stylists. But then the human stylists look at the client's Pinterest boards, read personal notes, that unstructured data, to add that additional level of reasoning. And when the package is delivered to the customer, it is the stylist, not the algorithm, that is front and center in the communications. It's that personal touch, human empathy, that delivers the value of personalization. The business is scalable because of the structured data and the use of AI, but it feels personalized because of the unstructured data and the human interaction. In this example, have we replaced the human, or have we supercharged a human instead? I would argue the latter. The beauty of Stitch Fix's model is that it understands both the value and the limitations of artificial intelligence. Let's look at an industry that's slightly closer to our own, healthcare. Medical imagery is a field that's ripe for artificial intelligence. There's a real problem to solve. Consider an emergency room radiologist who might look at dozens of images a day, and each of these cases could require dozens more images. This is a huge overload of data that might lead to eye strain or fatigue, and also an increased risk of errors. At the same time, these are large data sets that can be used to train a system. Recently, researchers trained an AI system to detect cancerous lesions. If you put the results up against a trained dermatologist, the dermatologists were able to identify 87% of the skin cancers. The AI system, 95%. But let's go back to the ER example. If you came into a hospital with a brain injury, who would you want doing the diagnosis? The sleep-deprived resident, the computer on their own, or the expert validating the computer? As patients, we want both. Access to the doctor who knows us and our situation, but also access to the technology, which identifies issues and offers solutions to the doctors may not be able to see. But we also want that personal touch, human empathy, to communicate the diagnosis and to discuss treatment options. Once again, we're talking about professionals who are supercharged rather than supplanted by AI technology. Now, artificial intelligence may not replace the experts, but that doesn't mean that firms can be complacent. Those that don't embrace this technology will still find themselves left behind. Or as the director of Stanford's Artificial Intelligence and Medicine Laboratory put it, artificial intelligence will not replace radiologists, yet those radiologists who use AI will replace those who don't. Now let's take a look at how we at Morgan Stanley Wealth Management are harnessing the power of AI. With over $2 trillion in client assets and 15,000 advisors, we are one of the largest wealth managers in the United States. But for us, it has never been solely about the absolute number of advisors. It's about our advisors' effectiveness and their relationship with their clients. And our clients today look for us to provide advice. They expect us to know everything we need to know to provide the right advice at the right time, personalized to their needs and goals. We are in a client service business, which means that AI cannot and is not our sole objective. Our objective is to deliver the best possible advice to our clients, and AI can help us. We are uniquely positioned to benefit from the promise of AI, as we have that combination of large structured data sets and human expertise. To understand the problem, first think about a day in the life of an advisor and all of the information they need to absorb. Morgan Stanley alone publishes over 50,000 research reports per year, life events affecting clients every day, a birth of a child, a Social Security distribution deadline, an IRA distribution deadline, elder care issues. There's an avalanche of information that our advisors need to process and even to manage the most rudimentary parts of their business. Consequently, with about 150 to 200 clients per advisor, they have found themselves unable to engage with their entire book every day or even every month. Advisors today need more time to spend with their clients, more time on the phone, more time face-to-face, time needed to discuss the decisions clients face every day, like planning for children, aging parents, and philanthropy. Additionally, in an environment where we know that client engagement is the single greatest driver of asset growth, and client retention, AI can help us. Let me give you an example of how it used to work. During a market-moving event, a time when clients want to be hearing from their advisor, the advisor's options are limited and unsatisfactory. An advisor could individually look up each client's portfolio and assess the impact. This would take 10 to 15 minutes per client. The advisor could then select from a limited pool of clients, usually starting with the biggest, and then call to discuss the client's situation. Often advisors aren't able to reach them on the phone. Alternatively, advisors could mass email his or her entire client base with a report from our research strategy team. This approach allows for 100% client engagement, but it's deeply impersonal and doesn't answer the client's question of what does this mean for me and my family? How does this impact my goals? We could have solved this problem by hiring hundreds of thousands of research associates to help each advisor. But instead, we have invested in the power of artificial intelligence through an initiative called Next Best Action. Our machine learning engine analyzes all client data for an advisor and pairs it with pre-written messages which are tailored to each client. This enables client engagement at scale. Rather than simply relaying the message on markets and market volatility, advisors can deliver more value by personalizing the impact of an event to each client's financial progress and goals. For example, a message could read, "Today the market declined by 4.1%, which impacted your portfolio by 2.4%. However, based on our latest financial plan, your probability of on-time retirement remains at 90%. Within this platform, advisors can also add personal notes to the message, like references to a recent meeting, or in this example, a recent vacation. Next Best Action takes thousands of investment ideas, life events, topical information, and operational issues, and scores each idea against every client, measuring the benefit to the client and the propensity for the client to engage with the idea. We then rank these ideas at both the client and advisor level and present the most relevant to the idea to the advisors each day for consideration. This solution has been extremely popular among our advisors because they recognize that it's an invaluable amplifier of their existing expertise and capabilities, far from something that is trying to replace them. Machines are excellent at crunching mountains of data and even at serving up ideas, but it will be a long time before they can empathize, reason, and serve clients the way our human advisors currently do. As we've seen with Stitch Fix and radiology, the key is to identify how to integrate the power of AI with a bank of human experts, leveraging AI for what it does best and empowering humans to do more of what they do best. So in conclusion, I would say it's clear that artificial intelligence has tremendous potential to move the financial services industry forward. Indeed, every industry. But we have to place the technology in its proper context. Those who chase AI for its own sake, as a solution in search of a problem, are liable to get it wrong. Those without the expertise or sufficient data within their organization will find it challenging to successfully implement AI. And finally, firms that forget that humans are a critical part of delivering the advice required for clients' complex decisions will fall short of what clients truly expect from their financial advisor. We believe the winning model is not artificial, but rather augmented intelligence, using the power of AI to support our human advisors. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Noreen. Thank you.